On this episode of Africans in Sports,
Bismack Biyombo with those vice grips.
When you come over here, people say, man, Africans lie about their age. Now, Africans go through so much that it forced them to become men at an early age.
What do you feel like is your biggest accomplishment when you look back?
To do things that my heart feel overwhelmed. Like, you can't live the world the same way you find this place. You have to live it in a better place.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Africans in Sports. I'm your host, Chris Kosisi Strawn, and today is special. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina to sit down with the Democratic Republic of Congo's own Bismack Biyombo. Biz,
What up, man? How you doing?
I'm well, how you doing?
I'm living.
Nice,
Can't complain.
Man, you just put on a pretty cool event upstairs. Gave the kids sneakers, gear, you got to coach them up. Can you tell me a little bit more about what just went on?
I mean, it was just a way to have fun with kids. You know, I'm a big believer in the youth because I always think like the issues we face now are gonna be fixed by the youth. And you know, you don't necessarily have to help where you come from. You know, me, I was born in the Congo. I do a lot of work in the Congo, but now I live here in Charlotte. You know, Charlotte welcomed me since day one. You know, this is where I first started. It was just a way to help these kids, connect with these kids, and being able to motivate them. They need to be exposed to as many things as possible. And one of the things that I was just thinking about as we go back and forth about what we wanted to do during the holiday was, man, I think it'd be cool if we can give them like an actual NBA player experience, you know, and a tour of our facility, them getting to play, them having their own jersey with their name on, them having like brand new pair of shoes, because I know all these things is things that I wish I might have when I was a kid. So now it's like, you know, I'm in a position to do so for them. It is only right to do it. So I had a great time. Thank God we're fortunate enough to be able to do that for other people.
Man, I could tell the looks on their faces, just it's like you made their whole year.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, man. It's overwhelming. You know, you don't know what those kids can become in the future. One of them could be sitting in my seat, hopefully doing better than I'm doing. But I think just being able to give them that opportunity to be around this kind of environment. You know, the look is great. You have a brand new pair of sneakers. I've quit on sneakers. I used not to have sneakers. And now I have rooms full of sneakers, so I quit. Yeah. But at the same time, now if I go back and think of me as a kid, how appreciative it was for me to have a brand new pair. I didn't have a brand new pair of sneakers until I was 16. So like seeing them at that age, like enjoying, being appreciative, it also reminds you, you know, as you grow, you lose value of little things, you know, and it reminds you of those things, and you always gotta be thankful. So, you know, I think now I'm still gonna be appreciative when my sneakers shows up.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned not having sneakers when you were younger. Take me back to Congo. What was it like growing up?
We grew up, we had to walk 45 minutes to go to school. 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes after school. And sometimes you coming back from school, like people have food and you got no food. And then sometimes you do have the same pair of shoes, sometimes you have mismatched pair of shoes, sometimes you have no shoes. We used to play soccer a lot barefoot just because of the environment that we were in. We couldn't afford it. But I mean, it was tough. We grew up in a family of 7. I'm the oldest of 7. My mom and dad raised us well. You know, they tried to figure every day how they could feed us, but then we have family member that they wanted to take care of, so they had to stay with us. But like the childhood was not like the regular childhood, or perhaps most of the kids that grow up in Africa. This is one thing that I find interesting. When you come over here, people say, man, Africans lie about their age. No, Africans don't lie about their age. Africans go through so much that it forced them to become men at an early age. You don't have toys to play with. We didn't grow up with toys, you know. Like now I get here, like you go to a friend's house, they got a room full of toys for kids. This is a playroom. We ain't got no space for playroom. We ain't had no space for PlayStation and all these things, you know. So like, we forced to grow faster, and when you've been put in that position, yeah, you're gonna mature. You need to survive. It's like survivor mode. That's Africa, and it still is. But now looking back, it's not so much of a bad thing, because throughout that's why you develop certain type of character in life. You become different than a lot of people, you know. That's why I am who I am. Like, people love me because I'm very appreciative of every day I'm alive, for everything I have, people that surround me.
Right. You being the oldest of 7, what type of things did you have to go through as being like the leader to your brothers and sisters?
Man, one story I'll tell you. We had soap. My mom bought soap one time. You know, we have like the powder soap in Africa where people wash the clothes with. And I figured, like, man, I just need to hide some soap. So I took soap and I hid it in the back of like one of the cars that wasn't functioning in our house. And then when we ran out of soap, like my mom, she didn't have money, we were trying to figure out and all that. And then I was like, yeah, I knew like we were gonna need soap at some point, so I hid it. And now here's the soap. So I just feel like growing up, being the oldest, I think now that I play sports, it helped me also to know how I can manage my teammates, because I've had to deal with different kind of personality within my family.
I know African names have deep meanings in them. What does your name mean? First of all, what's your full name, and what does it mean?
My full name, I never give it up, so I just give you like
it's exclusive, baby.
Exclusive. My passport does not say exclusive. My passport is using these 3 names. Okay. Because I don't think they're gonna fit all of them there. But Biyombo Sumba is my middle name. SUMBA, and then Bismack. So until this summer, I didn't know what my name actually meant.
Oh, wow.
So we were sitting at the table, and then we finished all our programs. We were in Lubumbashi, which was our last city, and we're sitting there talking to my dad. And then I was like, you know, what does my name mean? No, the video guy that was with us asked him a question. So what does his name mean? Because like we always curious. Like, so my name is like, you know, when they burn the forest, there's this the tiny herbs that comes out.
Yeah.
And those herbs, that's the herbs sometimes the gorillas will eat. So that's the meaning of my name. Those little herbs that comes out in the forest after the forest is burned down.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you take that name? And now that you know it's kind of fresh and new to you, what does that name mean to you? How do you take it and apply it to your life?
That's who I am. That's who I am. It's not even a way to explain it. Like, when he said it, then I had to actually go back to my room and sit down and be like, man, I wish I would have known a long time ago that this was the meaning of my name, you know, like the way I live my life every day, like, it's like, you know, if today was my last day, what would I wish that I do? Like the things that I've always wished to do every single day. Like, for me, just like the event we did, if I die, God forbid, today, I'm gonna die happy because I did everything that I have desire and wishes to do, rather it's back home, here, everywhere that I travel with my career. So like every day I go to bed happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's special, man. I love your heart for the people.
Oh, thank you.
Take me back to Lubumbashi and let me know where basketball started, or where sports started for you.
It started, we used to go watch my uncle play, the young brother of my dad, and then we ended up we had this big old tree. So you see the tire of a bike. So we took that, we attach it to the tree, and then we'll just shoot there. And then, we'll just shoot there. My brother can actually speak for himself.
Yeah.
And that's how the kind of the love of the game started. And then, you know, you don't dribble too much. You're just loving it, getting there and all that. And then I think at 12, I'm like, I think I can get into this. I'm too tall to play soccer, you know. In Africa, we all play soccer, and I still play for fun. My brother still play for fun. Then it's like, these guys outrun me, they're too fast, they're faster than me. I need to look into other things, man. So then I start working out a little bit on a Saturday, and then and I think at 13, my friends were just playing after school, and I had dressing shoes on. And then they were dunking and jumping and dunking. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. And they're like, yo, you should try to dunk. I'm like, well, this is not me, man. Like, I just started getting into this, and young. So they give me the ball, and I pump the ball. I keep trying to dunk and dunk and dunk. And then when I finally dunk, I was like, wow, this feels really good. I think I love this game. And then from there, we stopped playing most of the Saturdays. I think when I fall in love with the game at 13, earlier in the year, I was failing classes. So I had to quit basketball.
I know
go back
African
to
parents
school.
that do not play that.
They do not play that. First is school, and then you figure out all these dreams. You got basketball, soccer. You put it over there.
Books first.
Exactly.
You got shut down.
I got shut down. My grades got better. We were staying after school. Actually, my brother and I were staying after school. We had the same teacher, math teacher. When things got better in school, then I went back to basketball. And then from there, there was no turning around. And then at 15, I actually became like one of the youngest players in the country that was real good. I got offers to come to like college and stuff. But then at 16, later that year, at 15, I asked my dad if they could let me be a pro, because we were having like offers to go like try out in different countries. They weren't sure just because nothing was guaranteed. And then at 16, they were like, we're gonna give it a chance. If it doesn't work, you always can come back home and finish school. Well, the deal was, if it doesn't work, I have to come back home and finish school. So like, when you're following your dreams and your parents give you green lights, I don't think I have an option to fail. Right. So for me, it was like, I'm gonna work as hard and I have to deliver now, So we're supposed to go to Qatar. We ended up being stuck in Yemen, and then there were opportunities to play in Yemen. Then I decided to take the chance and the contract. Okay. But as I stayed in Yemen, then other doors opened to go to Spain. Then I went to Spain, and then after Spain, we're here.
Yeah. Okay. So now you find your way to being a pro in Madrid. What is that like? You're coming from Africa, and now you're going to a whole nother continent. What is that like? You don't speak the language. How is that?
When I got there, every time they say something, I'll be like, they talking about me. I could be sitting at the table and then they saying something. I will look at them slowly. I'm like, they talking about me. And then I just got to the point where I'm like, look, I need to learn the language. I can't keep living like this. So I hired a teacher, and I'm like, within 6 months or less, I have to speak this language, because I can't be paranoid every time somebody says something. Sometimes it's just a compliment, right? So, long story short, I learned the language. The food was fascinating, because it was different that I've been put in that environment. But one of the best things that probably happened is that the culture, the way they welcome people. And when I got to Spain, for me, was like, this is my dream. Like, now that I'm in Spain, because first when I got there, nobody wanted me. Like, all the teams, it's 30 teams in Spain, and all of them come and watch me, and they were like, no, it's not good enough. Kids can play. So I was like, I am not gonna go out. I'm not gonna hang out with people. My life, morning, lunch, and dinner would be basketball.
Focused.
Until I prove people that I belong somewhere and I can make it. From that moment forward, that's all I did, was just stay in the gym, work out, go back home, hit, go to sleep, go play the game. all the way until I stopped playing the first division. Then I started doing the team dinner. And then maybe we'll go out like here and there with the team. When everybody want to hang out, then I hang out with them. But like the first year and a half, like they never see me hang out with them. I was just in the gym all the time. So then from there, when the time comes where I knew like, okay, I think I'm gonna make it to the league now. This is not about, I'm gonna make it to the league. Now I know for sure I'll make it to the league.
So it was in Spain when you figured out that you had what it took.
In Spain, but a little bit before I knew it, because I had like few of my teammates that keep telling me that they think I was gonna make it. But in Yemen, I remember having a conversation with one of my teammates named Hamid. I told him, like, I think in 5 years, I might play in the NBA. They were laughing, swear to God, they were laughing. And then the day I got drafted, I got so many messages from people in Yemen. But what they didn't realize is that they were sending me messages in Arabic. And
you couldn't even read it.
And I couldn't even read it. So I was like, all right, man, how about one of this day we just get on a phone call and just so you could tell me all these things. Yeah. But, in Yemen, I think at some point, but the moment I left my family and my dad and my mom say, if you fail, you have to come back, go to school, finish school. That's the moment I was like, this is my only way out. There's no turning back, and I have to make it. So whatever I have to do, this is my only chance to really do it, because if I have to come back here, get up every day, go look for jobs while there is no jobs, we got a problem, man. So anyway, that's kind of how things unfold. Thank God that we're here now.
Probably the biggest moment on Bismack's road to success was when he was invited to the Nike Hoop Summit, which features the top high school scenes in America against the best basketball players from around the world who were 19 and under. After spending 2.5 seasons playing in the Spanish ACB League, he earned himself an invitation.
Before I show up, they say, just enjoy the experience, man. Don't think you're gonna play or anything, I said, okay, that's okay. But I knew pretty damn well when I show up there, I was gonna kill it. So I landed off a 12 hours flight from Madrid to Portland. Wow. And as I land at the airport, they say, no, go to the hotel, get some rest, we practice tomorrow. I said, nah, man, give me my shoes. If they're practicing, I'm gonna practice. So we get in practice, I destroy people. Everybody like, who is this kid? Yeah. And the coach called me on the side and said, hey man, I think you should be my captain.
Captain?
I said, what makes you say that? He said, your leadership, man. You take ownership. Like, you own this place today. I said, okay, good. And then we came back the next day, I killed it again. Then all the NBA scouts like, hold on. There's this kid from Congo that we all didn't know about. His name is Bismack Biyombo. Yeah. We think it might be an NBA player. And the coach came to me the next day and said, you're gonna play a lot of minutes. At the time, they had Anthony Davis as a #1 draft pick. So the hype was around him. And us, we were just like tagging along. And now I'm like, they're like, yeah, you gotta face Anthony Davis tomorrow. He's like the best player. I'm like, sure, I think it's gonna be fun. My mindset back then, if I could take my mindset back then and put it in my body now, it'd be very dangerous.
Why? Elaborate on that.
Because I was like, basketball is the only thing I knew. And I will do anything. When I mean anything, is anything to prove anybody. Like, we could be sitting before the game, like somebody in the stand say like, you suck. I'll be like, oh really, now watch me. And then after the game, they'll be like, damn, sorry. I wish I didn't say that, like. Yeah. But looking at now, you look at the game differently, because now you have to be able to manage the other 4 guys. Right. Back then, I have to play only me.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me, I gotta show, do me.
Yeah.
Like now, I have to show and do me, but I still gotta help 4 other guys to be able to excel at that level, you know? So from that moment, we played the game. The day of the game, I came in first half, I played like shit. And then I sit down, I'm like, what are we doing, man? Like, we're not even making it to the NBA. Like, the second half, by the time the game was done, I had the first triple-double in the Nike Hoop Summit history.
That's crazy.
I didn't even know what a triple-double was. This is how weird this is. I'm dead serious. I was walking to the locker room, and then this guy, Ian, he worked with Nike, was like a equipment manager. He's like, yo, congrats, man. You had the first triple-double in the Nike Hoop Summit history. I said, triple-double? The hell is a triple-double? So you didn't know what a triple-double is. So this is a triple-double. I was like, oh, man, great. So what now? I said, well, maybe you get drafted. I said, well, if that's the case, I think we're good. We're good. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we get to the locker room, and then I get thanked by the Nike people. I was like, I think this is a cool thing, right? Okay. I might need to look it up.
I became a fan at that moment.
In my mind, I need to look this up. So I went into a press conference. They're like, yo, well, so where would you like to go if you get drafted? I was like, I didn't come here with an idea of being drafted, but if that's a possibility, well, guess I'll have to sit with my agent. Meanwhile, my agent is outside like, I think you're getting drafted this year. You know, the plan was like within a year and a half, 2 years. And then it changed from a year and a half, 2 years to now you have to get in the draft. We're in like March. Draft is like 3-4 months later, June. And meanwhile, I go from 2 years later to 4 months later.
To right now.
It's crazy, man, crazy.
Wow.
And then living that moment is like, damn, I'm gonna be an NBA player. And then I look around like the guys, like I came in, I was the nobody. And then I leave, I was like the story of the Hoop Summits. And man.
In 2011, Bismack got drafted 7th overall to the Sacramento Kings, who soon traded him to the then Charlotte Bobcats. He's managed to stay in the league ever since, which has given him the platform to return home to Congo and leave a lasting impact on communities all over the country.
So, fast forward 8 years later, what do you feel like is your biggest accomplishment when you look back?
My biggest accomplishment is to be able to have the platform to do things that my heart feel overwhelmed. What I mean by that is like the schools we have built back home, the 30 plus kids we have given scholarships to come here, the hospitals that we're able to refurbish, the academies that we're able to run, like what we did today. These are the things that I think is the things that I feel most accomplished about, because like at the end of the day, championship, I'm gonna win a championship. Like all these titles are great, which I'm going to do, but changing somebody's life, saving somebody's life. You know, one of the craziest things that happened this year when we refurbished one of the emergency room back home, and my dad sent me a video, somebody was using it. I didn't know whether I should jump of happiness or cry of emotions, because these are people we were saving. Right. There were no emergency room. You know what I mean?
I know well.
So these are the things that separate my career from anything that I've ever wished to do in life. And I am very thankful every day. I thank God every day for it. And I want to continue to do more. But he give you a platform, you know, like things that you dream about. Like I dream about at some point, like having like Jordan Brand as my sponsors. And then the day I got a phone call like, yo, you're going to be a Jordan Brand athlete. I was like, man,
that's crazy.
This is sick. Like, yeah. I'm going to get like Jordan shoes, you mean? Like, and then back then, you know, it was a luxury to be a Jordan Brand athlete. It was only like 13 of us across all sports 8 years ago. And now we have, of course, a lot more players, but it was like luxury. So for me, it was like, these are the things as a kid you dream of, and as you continue to grow, it's like, man.
Yeah. It's a true blessing, man.
It's a true blessing. God is great, and you know, hopefully we continue to do this at a even bigger stage.
I know you will.
And inspire a lot more people to do the same, because people have the capability to do so.
So if you could look into that camera right there and speak to a young Congolese boy right now, what would you tell him?
Man, whatever you are, whatever you're doing, you have to dream big. The reason why I say dream big, because I was that one kid in the Congo as well that had that dream. Didn't know how it was gonna happen, but we had the faith. Like, we grew up with faith, knowing that God will find a way, you know, to put the right people along your journey to help you accomplish that dream. Don't let the struggle kill your dreams. Don't let the difficult moment kill your dreams, because if I was to give up because of not having shoes to play basketball with, no equipment, I should never be sitting here talking to you. So struggle out there for a reason. It's a journey. You have to face the ups and downs in order for you to become that person that God wants you to become. At the end of the day, your family always gonna be there for you. People that trust in your dreams, believe in your dreams, always gonna be there for you. Embrace them, love them, appreciate them, and the world is yours, my man.
Man, that's so real, bro. So real. For Africans in Sports, I'm your host, Chris Cosisi Strawn. That's Bismack Biyombo. We out of here, baby.
Thank you for having me, man.
Sir.
Appreciate you guys.
On the next episode of Africans in Sports.
First of all, I'm black. I'm from Ghana. And, you know, it doesn't snow much in the Netherlands, so don't be confused. And no, I want to be an Olympic sprinter. You know, the only time that we really remember in Ghana there was Christmas. It's not because it was snowing, but on Christmas Day, we had the privilege and the honor to consume like a full bottle of a Coca-Cola or a full egg. And here I was, Ghana man, lying head first on my belly, thinking that at the end of the finish, they probably had my coffin ready to bury me.